45 years ago, this Sunday, Father's Day, is the day that I was saved. And it was 1972. It was the height of the Jesus People movement. People were everywhere. I had just finished my freshman year in college at University of Tennessee. And it was an interesting time. The streets were full of young people heavily evangelizing for Jesus. There were also just as many people out giving flowers and doing Hare Krishna and all the other stuff too, but the majority of them were young, long-haired people witnessing for Jesus. But this has a backstory. It has rather a long backstory. So let's move back maybe 4 or 5, 6 months, maybe even the beginning of my freshman year. I'd left a boyfriend behind in my hometown, and kind of with the understanding that, we were going somewhere. Anyway, when I got to school, not very long after I had been there, it was 500 miles away, he married someone else, which just about devastated me. So that was one thing. The other thing that happened is my brother, who was 2 years younger than I was and had been a problem, to say the least, after my parents had died about 4 or 5 years earlier, he got saved. And we had both gone to Catholic schools, but he got saved in this little Baptist church and was now evidently wearing a white suit and evangelizing himself and out on the streets and being very successful. And when I got home from college, he was a changed boy. The anger was gone. It was an amazing transformation. And then, meanwhile, back at college, a good friend of mine, and he will probably be listening to this, Jamie, got saved. And he changed as well. So I had 2 major testimonies going on, and I lost the person that I kind of depended on. So around spring, I was out off campus, and a lot of people, like I said, witnessing. So finally I stopped one day and I listened to this guy, and I thought, you'd have to be a fool not to take God up on this offer, And so I went back to my dorm room, and I am not easily persuaded. A lot of my old friends would say that's not true, that I was very impressionable, but that's not really true. At my core, I am very hard to persuade. Anyway, so I went back to my dorm room, and I was so devastated with the boyfriend getting married to someone else. And I just finally said, okay, Jesus, if this is really real, if it's really, really real, I want 3 things. I want this guy to come back. I'm not going to say his name. And number 2, I had wrestled with my weight my whole life, and it's like I want to lose weight. I want to be skinny, or at least, good. And the 3rd thing is I just want to be happy. And I said, you do those 3 things for me, I'll believe in you. And I don't suggest that you do that. That's not the best way to get saved, but that's where I was. And the next morning, I went downstairs in my dorm where the cafeteria was, heard this little voice, eat that, don't eat that. Yep, you can have that, don't eat that. And that went on. And I'd say inside of a month, 30 days or so, I'd lost a substantial amount of weight. I was feeling lighter and happier and just like, wow, okay. All right, well, maybe there's something to this, but I still wasn't quite convinced. So school got out, I think the first week of June, somewhere in there, and my grandfather on my mother's side died, and they lived in Kentucky. So my brother and I had to go up to Kentucky. And my brother actually got up and preached at the funeral. That was an amazing thing, and I could really see that he really believed what he was saying in the transfer. I mean, he was just glowing with the presence of the Lord. And we got back home, and it was Father's Day, ironically enough, and we were standing outside my aunt's house, which is where we lived after my parents died, out by the mailbox. And he's the one who led me to the Lord. He finally just said, when are you going to put away all this stuff? I had gotten involved in astrology and other things and he goes, you know that's not true. And so right there, right by my mailbox, the end of my driveway, I prayed on Father's Day and asked Jesus to come save me. And then my brother made me go get rid of all the books I had on astrology and other stuff, which was fine. But I felt like the Lord was really pleased because it was Father's Day. And that has always been my heart, is to please the Father. So that's the short version of my testimony of getting saved. And this Father's Day, I hope that you feel the Father's blessing and love on you as well.